Mm-hmm.
And we are live. So hooray. So welcome. This is Lamentations of the Martian Princess. Flame Martian Princess. It's session 16, I think, already, which is insane. Yeah. And we're calling this one First Impressions, which is a rather apt title for where you are right now. So, doing some kind of recap, you guys are in a lot of trouble. I think there was some kind of a horrible. What happened? Yeah, that was a whole thing where all the
Aren't we always in a lot of trouble
from IO, and yeah, you're always in a lot of trouble. And I think we started off the session after you guys had an encounter with those. You're trying to lead the people, what's left of the House of Seraphim, to Paragon, or maybe to see this Martian princess, as you started calling her. And is anybody else here?
Yeah. It's really loud. Can you mute your microphone? Oh, there we go.
Wow.
Wow.
Wow, that's cool, man. You know, I like playing with Jose and all, but anyhow, so you end up encountering this horrific beast, which is entirely Dell's fault because of this book that he suggested I buy as a part of a random encounter, which really puts you guys in a serious jam. And the Bran would tell you that's enemy sorcerers. Same would tell you it's Anu himself, and demon possession. But our brave sorcerers. Well, actually, Parthalion was a brave sorcerer and cast a spell to keep this creature at bay and really pumped everything he had into it. And he miscast. The spell worked, but he ended up switching bodies with Othar Kai, which we found out was going to be for 3 days. And Othar Kai is young, and now he's crying because he's in this body that doesn't really work really well. And Parthalion, we're not really sure if Parthalion is lucky or unlucky because it's not permanent, and in about 3 days we determine it's going to. He gets this feeling it's going to switch back. Yep. And our other brave sorcerer, Jusimba, well, he didn't actually try to save anybody. Well, he fired a gun, and cast ESP to try to figure out what was going on with this body switching thing. And against all odds, which I think I figured out were like 576 to 1 based upon the miscast table. Ends up having a miscast and switches bodies with Thak, the lone surviving person that Bran had saved, who was actually kind of devoted to him. This has had some interesting, some unfortunate, and some very fortunate consequences for Jusimba. He is now in this much younger body, which is, it doesn't have the doughy exterior. He doesn't look like him, which might be a good thing because not everybody likes Jusimba. Let's see what else. Let's see what else has happened here. Of course, Thak might be mad. We don't know, but probably the more salient point is that Yanni, the last known living member of the House of the Spider that you've encountered, not the House of the Spider proper or in total, he was charmed, but now he's not really sure which one is the real Jusimba. So he's a little bit. It's not like he was a huge ace in the hole for you, but he was somebody that probably one of the only people that liked Jusimba. Well, I mean, that's unfair, but anyhow.
That's so harsh.
Gosh, that's really harsh. And at this particular point, you were I think you were able to have a night's rest, recover some hit points because Parthalion in particular was in pretty bad shape, and Jusimba was able to use some ESP amongst the various NPCs of the party and see what they thought of everybody and everything. But then you are accosted by what turns out to be the Lankian and the members of the Stone Clan of the Ishtarians, people that Bran knows from Mars 1 at least. And they mentioned that you have no souls. When they look at your bodies, they just don't seem to have souls attached to them, which I believe you start to suspect might have to do with the fact that you're not really from here. And
they haven't heard us play a bass guitar.
So they haven't heard you play a bass guitar, which we'll have during the intermission. and we're also throughout this entire time, Thane has been absolutely beside himself, declaring everybody is possessed and trust no one. Whereas Simba tried to throw Thack under the rug and just have everybody kill him, but that didn't happen.
It was a reflex action.
Knee jerk.
Knee jerk, really.
My favorite line in this session is Bran confronts him and said, "Why'd you tell us, Simba? Why did you tell us to kill him? Kill him?" And he said, "Oh no, it was so confusing. Things just got a little crazy for a minute.
Bit disoriented from the whole experience, and
Could have happened to anyone.
He's such a weasel." So anyhow, at this point, Caspar, the Ishtarian, one of the Ishtarian, not really leaders, but like shamans or wise men. The Ishtarians are kind of all sort of druidic, for lack of a better word. Have agreed to take you to go see Illuvia, the exiled princess of
Paragon, not
Paragon.
Mars.
Thank you very much. Yeah, not Mars. Paragon.
Yes.
And that's where we open the session. So the group of, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
The group of Lankan and Ishtarians begin to move through the woods. Have you follow them. They're actually quite generous in terms of the other members of your party that appear to be wounded. They've helped this old man up on a horse who doesn't do very much besides sob, and they've also helped this fat man who cries even more onto a horse. They're leading them. They're leading the three women and Rosalind. Also, they're making sure they're safe. They're cared for. They're a little standoffish with the four of you, but not unfriendly. Just like, and once again, you see a couple times some of the Ishtarians sort of like make this little symbol, almost as if they're warding off the evil eye, something that Bran would notice. But it's, and they talk amongst themselves a little bit. You can hear them, and you get the feeling, Bran, that they're being admonished by Caspar that it's okay. You've seen this kind of, and so it's a little bit of, I don't want to say superstition, but they're definitely getting some kind of vibe from you. For the most part, there's members of the Lankan that you recognize you, but everybody, was convinced that you were dead. So they're a little freaked out by that. But they are leading you through the woods, and you're starting to go up into the hills and the mountains. Parthalion would kind of recognize that, pretty much where you're going, because he was able to have a view of that as a dragon. So he knew it was this encampment of somebody. Wasn't quite sure who it was up in that area. So Parthalion's able to get the suspicion, or, you realize the suspicion was correct. That this is in fact where the Princess Illuvia was camped out. But it's taken some time to get there. So you guys want to do anything in that trip?
If this Saurian's been providing some kind of aid for Parthalion, the bodily form of him. Initially he's a little hesitant, but he's okay with that. Even of them. But they seem to trust Bran. So at a certain point along the trip, he's gonna move his steed over to close in between Chosimba, the body of Chosimba, and Yanni, which Yanni is whenever they get around each other. And he's going to go up to
Yanni's kind of bouncing between the body of Chosimba and the body of Thack, really still looking a little bit confused.
Yeah, whenever he gets close to the body of Chosimba, he's going to pull up between them and say, "What have you two scoundrels done to Master Parthalion?" You, Yanni.
Done? I haven't done anything.
Don't tell me. Don't laugh, Chosimba. Has he given you the...
Wait a minute. Who are you talking to?
No, that's Thack laughing.
It's Thack, but the thing is Chosimba.
Okay, hold on. Do you just want to start calling me Thack from this point on so that...
Thack is back, yeah.
Just call me Thack Simba.
Get in your head? Thack Simba. All right. Don't
So
laugh.
we'll call this other one. We'll call this other one with the body of Jasimba and the mind of Thack. Jack.
Jack.
Jack. Don't laugh, Jack. All right. Did he give you powder?
Didn't give any
Yanni.
power. What are you talking? Have you been
Black Lotus? Are you supplying
No.
Jack with Black Lotus?
No. What are you
Don't
talking?
tell me. I saw Master Parthalion sit there in a stupor before this went down. There's been a craze that's gone beyond this. Is this what's happening? Tell me now. And
I wish it was, but it's not. I have no idea what's going on.
All right. I put my hand on the palm of the sword. I say, if I find different, your head is mine. And then I back the seat off and move over to the side.
Let us do a reaction roll here because you just
All right.
threatened this man's life.
Oh, I like it. Love it.
This reminds me of this alleyway. The guys from House Thorn, or whatever it happens to be. Let's see how well he reacts to that. That is an 8, which, let's see, my handy dandy reaction chart, which I had open for a completely different reason. I think he's indifferent. He's
indifferent.
He's a little pissed off at you, but he doesn't draw steel, but he gives you a look.
Yeah, you better think twice.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I pull back over there. Right? I give him my message.
Thack Simba. Thack Simba will kind of. Is he riding on a horse?
Yeah. Oh yeah. You can ride him whenever you want. I mean, there's horses, here.
So he's riding along a horse, and he's kind of. Where's Roz?
No, Roz is up with the other women. She's not surrounded by Lankian, but she's riding a horse. She's
okay. I'm just gonna kind of ride up and ride.
You're playing as Thack Simba now.
Like, hey.
Okay, go ahead.
What's up? And then kind of ride away, give her a wink and ride back.
Putting the moves, yeah.
Let's see. I think I'm gonna privately find out what she thinks of him.
Uh-oh.
Roz is not impressed. She is not. If this was BX, that would say hostile immediate attack. But
clawing of eyes.
It's not jump off her horse and try to claw your eyes out. What she certainly did. There's that look a woman gives a guy when the advances are unwelcome, and then there's a look that Roz gives you. Slightly more acerbic and more filled with more vitriol than that.
Well,
so yes,
encourages Simba.
I know that look well, so yes, I understand. All right, I'll just go right back here. That's all right.
Right, and also while all this drama is going on behind his back, Bran would be asking the Lankian around and obviously Caspar if there are news of his particular clan, right? If they're alive here or not, which you could roll for, right? I'm not gonna, and it's just because he's curious to know if they're safe or if they've been.
I'm looking for your guy here. Hold on for 1 second, because I remember we have actually one named relative.
The uncle, yeah.
The uncle, and I can tell you that he's alive.
All right.
I'm just looking for his name here. And Cormac.
That's right.
A former sellsword who gave Bran Javed's name. Yeah. So yeah, Cormac is still alive. Cormac is in fact living up there. He is not in the best of health. He is older, but your uncle still lives.
Excellent.
I'm sure he'll be happy to see you. He thought you dead for some time now.
Good to know. Thank you.
It's odd because from your Mars, the Lankian did not live in this particular area. Your clan wasn't here, so
Okay.
but the clan itself, the person you're talking to, you recognize. as a member of the clan. He seems relatively friendly, like he's just a little bit taken aback by seeing you. But other than that, he's like, "Oh, your uncle lives. I'm sure he'll be very happy to see you." And it's definitely, I will definitely, I'm not planning on saying it well enough, but like you recognize a lot of faces. Like you realize these are your people.
Yeah, so these are people I know for sure. Okay, excellent.
And if you want any of them to have names, you can certainly name them, and then I'll start calling them that name. But there's definitely, and everybody's just a little bit different, but these are clearly people you know. It's a typical Mars 2 vibe. Just everything's just a little bit off.
Okay.
So they haven't seen you like probably in 3 years.
I will ask. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go for it.
Okay, so I will ask. I'm assuming I'm writing like close to Bran, and I will ask Caspar for news of the city of Paragon, if he has any news.
Paragon itself has been closed to us since Calgarix usurped the princess. Not that we did a lot of business there in the first place. We would go there and sell our herbs, sell our wares, trade news. It was a good city up until that point. But since then, it has been closed.
I suppose the princess must have eyes and ears in this city. Have you heard of any unrest in the last 7 days or so? Trying to pinpoint if they, had any knowledge of when we destroyed the Temple of Anu. Seeing if they noticed any of that change.
They did notice a great disturbance. A great disturbance of the force. They did notice, roughly about a week ago, like you're able to piece back, when the temple itself was destroyed, that something was amiss. It's not something that showed up in the city of Paragon itself, or that the Lankian would notice. The Ishtarians knew that something was wrong or something had happened. Okay. They weren't quite certain what. The only thing that they've seen since then is there had started to be refugees coming from the city of Vesta. People, and really the ones they would see were people that were on horseback and riding really fast, not going as slow as your caravan. From what they understand, they accosted some of them, but he lets you know as you're traveling, you and Bran, that mostly what they tended to do would be to accost some merchant caravans and what have you going into the city, especially ones that were like obviously associated with the new ruler. So they're living lives of bandits and rabble to a certain extent, causing a little bit of trouble for the city. Since she's been kicked out. They really don't have any eyes and ears in the city proper. Like pretty much she got out with all of her people. A lot of people were killed. It was not a nice takeover. And she barely escaped with her life. And the people that are here are kind of the people loyal to her. Most of those that are loyal to her, in terms of people with power, people that carry a sword for a living. If they're in the city, they're presumed dead. Likewise for any of the other leadership in the city that was associated with her. So they're not sure too much of what's going on in the city outside of whatever they can glean from travelers. But they also noticed that the city itself seemed to be closed off to refugees.
Okay.
And then they noticed about, I don't know what it was now, like 2 days ago.
Yeah.
This incredible rain of demonic hell from the sky, which they're not sure where it's from. Their best, their suspicion of the princess, and to a lesser extent the Ishtarians, was that it might have been something that Calgarix caused, maybe through some kind of association with Yazi, or some dark sorcery. They're not sure.
Have there been attacks upon the princess's camp by the foul creatures?
Yes, they managed to kill some, but they seem to have become less and less prevalent over time.
Good to know. Very well.
Thane's been meandering his horse throughout the caravan, specifically for Thack and the guy who claims to be Parthalian, or he speaks like Parthalian, targeting them. He's taking out his medallion, and he'll walk by, trot by various people and kind of hold it out and say, "Bella, keep you," and look for reactions from any of them. So he's doing this while they're on the road. All right.
Are you doing that to me? Are you doing that to Thack Simba?
But no, Thack Simba, I've already left. All right. So,
so you're not okay. All right. You didn't try that on him, did you?
Well, actually, I would have the medallion out because I had it in mind to do it. So yeah, I'm going to be let's say I'll do that as I'm backing away, going like this. I'm
okay, and I'll do something like this. I'll go, it burns, it burns.
Oh.
I'm just kidding.
Okay. But that's kind of reaction he's looking for,
Most of any NPCs that you do that to are giving you that kind of awkward smile, like thanks, just really,
okay, yeah, I'm just looking if they go,
Okay, take it away.
If they freak out on
and also with you, They're really just hoping they say the right thing. They're giving you that kind of like scared look, like, man, and I hope this guy doesn't freak out and start
just
trying
like
to
Bella keep you.
Right.
Got my eyes on you. It's like a all right.
Is there anything else anybody wants to do during this ride, or were you?
Yes, I wanted to Thack Simba wanted to ride up to Bran and ask this wise outdoorsy type what his game plan was when we got to the camp of the Princess Uvula, or whatever her name was.
It's Alluvia, but there you go.
Alluvia.
Pretty close. Yeah, I think that's awesome.
That's her older sister. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
We plan. The only plan that we had was getting as many of Parthalian's people alive to Paragon. So I was wondering, I was hoping to ask if there's a way to get them there to safety. If not, to see if they could stay with her in her camp, if Parthalian agrees.
Now, is that Cho Simba asking him? I mean,
no, Thack Simba's asking him that.
I'm getting confused.
Thack Simba.
The body of Thack, though, right?
Yeah, body of
true
Thack.
Cho Simba. Yeah,
right.
Just call him Cho Simba. I'm getting confused.
It's easy to think that Thack Simba, he's going to be Thack Simba for the rest of forever.
Oh my God,
that's the advantage. It's the new to Simba.
That's right.
Okay, all right. He's evolved. Yeah.
Yes. Wow. All right.
It's Josimba next.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
All
right, thanks, Simba.
All right,
buddy.
Body of Thack. Body of Thack. As you go up to the priest of Bela, body of Thack. So, oh, that's awful. That's awful.
Just change hats or something.
People just unsubscribe from my channel. Anyhow.
Very well. I'll just like look at him, like you've got everything under control. I can see here. Good man. And I'll just kind of fade back with my mount.
It takes the better part of the day, but all of a sudden you start to hear whistles, and you realize, Bran knows right away that the Lankian and the Ishtarians in the camp that they're, or the party that they're in, are communicating with those that are kind of on out guard or outpost positions, and they're just announcing their presence to each other, and at one point a rider comes down, exchanges some questions, and then rides back off rather swiftly in a direction, and you're led to understand that your arrival is being announced. And this becomes more frequent. You end up meeting some more, or passing some more checkpoints, if you will. And at least Bran would realize this place is rather well guarded. Yeah. they're trying to be unobtrusive, but they're keeping eyes on the this entrance. And it's also pretty obvious as you're going up higher and higher into the hills that there's probably not too many ways to get here. And so the obvious ways that are passable by horse are being guarded.
Yeah, so Bran will call over as they ride. Will beckon Parthalion and Thane and Simba.
Were you
He'll
talking
beckon them.
which Barthalion you talking about? The old man?
No. Remember.
Yeah. You don't know, do you?
Do we need to get little
talking.
name tags? Like, hello, my name is.
Yeah.
I'm talking.
There you go, right there. Yeah.
I'm talking about Koji Kabuto, not Messenger Z, right? The guy's the
Whoever's
driving
riding,
seat.
whoever's driving.
Yeah.
Whoever's driving. Okay.
Yeah.
Othar Wizard. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I call Thane and Jasimba and Parthalion over, and I say, by now she knows we're here. This place is well guarded, which also means it's probably as safe as any place can be outside a walled city. Barthalion, what are your intentions regarding your people?
My only real plan was to get them to safety. I am concerned now, as a matter of fact, that perhaps the infestation of these parasites would have spread to Paragon as well. So perhaps they will be safer here in the encampment with the Princess Alluvia. The only other concern would be the shape-shifting creatures that fell from the sky, but they've already defended against those. And well, perhaps the frequency of those attacks will decrease. Who knows? I still want to confer with the princess to see what she has learned from if she has any knowledge of what's going on in the city. Other than that, I trust Bella will guide us because I have no.
Thane is looking at you like you're crazy. And he's going, your word carries little weight here, interloper. Who are you? Speak as Parthalion. You say you are, but do you have any proof? Parthalion lays yonder. And he points over there at the little trebuchet.
Travois, close enough.
Yeah. Travois. I mean, seriously, he's looking at you like, what? Who are you?
Bran just shakes his head and says,
I think you better go check Master Parthalion. I think he's having an incontinent moment, so maybe he might need your assistance.
It's about this time that you hear one of the women in the party scream, like a real blood-curdling scream of horror.
Uh-oh.
Oh, jeez. All right, turn on the dime.
Was he actually incontinent?
This will be shrouded in the mist. I think he's crying. He's just softly weeping on his horse, because he's old. He's at least 50, which is just horrific. Might be, oh Lord. Yeah, he's older than that, I believe.
50, good Lord, man. Who could live with 50 years on their shoulders?
I know. It's difficult, I tell you that, pal. So anyhow,
so we'll wheel my mount around and go see what's going on.
Right. And she is looking straight ahead, in the direction you guys are traveling. And she's got her hand over her mouth. She's obviously very, very distraught. And she's pointing because one of the other women is like, what? And the other woman looks in the same direction and doesn't scream, but is obviously quite shaken. And there are several bodies on poles.
What kind of bodies?
Are they impaled?
Human
impaled?
Yeah. They're impaled on poles. There are at least 6 or 7 bodies, and as you look up, you realize that they are in the colors of the guard of the city of Paragon.
So there's humanoids, not Astarians or
No, these are humans.
Gotcha.
Is this
will,
a custom that I would know that from the Lankian or the Istarian in our Mars?
No.
No. So okay, so
I'm not sure
so
how
Bran will.
they execute their people, or but
Yeah.
whatever this is much more brutal than
right.
you would normally.
Now, would we recognize these colors? I mean, as far as the guards or whatever,
The guards are from Paragon, from the city of Paragon, so we can assume that it's the princess who's impaled him.
Yeah, so Bran will ask the nearest Lankian, "What's going on here?"
Spies. One sent out to find us.
Brad, are you sure that they are not leading us into a trap? Do you know these Ishtarians well enough?
There are Istarians and there are Lankian among them. Of course, they could be leading us into a trap, but if they were, like I said, this place is very well protected. We could not make it out.
Does Skalgarax send out patrols to find the princess and her followers?
He does. We've had several skirmishes. Usually not this close, but these got close.
I will comfort the women.
Okay.
But they're obviously distraught.
They're distraught.
Need to be made safe, and no one else is doing a job of that right now. So I will.
Youthful and strong Jasimba will be there.
Yeah. The women respond much better to you than Raz did. And they cry on your shoulder.
Okay. Good. Let's start.
All right. Okay. Okay. So, Brand, you're sure that this is not the Mars that we're from?
Correct. I can only speak from the Lankian and the Astarians I know. This is not our custom, but again, they're being led by this Princess Alluvia, whom we know nothing about.
Yes,
we could probably discern something if our wizards were here. They've obviously been taken out of.
I move my horse closer to Thane, not to Thane, to Bran, and I'll say, well, several things seem obvious. The princess metes out harsh justice, but it also says to me that we should be careful if the princess deems us spies, we may suffer a similar fate. So we must be especially cautious.
The gods of the wild are not like your Bella. I am sure they would get a big laugh of her impaling us after we've ridden all this way here.
Well,
at this point, you obviously are entering the actual camp itself. You see several more people and Ishtarians. Many more people than Ishtarians milling about. There's not just members of the Lankan anymore. You realize that there's people there that are clearly, Bran could tell the difference right away. The rest of you might not be able to really, judge a Lankan from a non-Lankan. But obviously there's other people that are city folk.
Yeah.
That look like they're more of the guards of Illuvia. They're in various levels of armor. Some have actual energy weapons on them. Mostly just have swords and spears and bows and arrows, that sort of thing. There's a lot of game, mostly of the six-legged variety that's being dressed and hung up and what have you. There's a water supply over here, but the camp looks pretty extensive. There's actually quite a few people here. But one man is coming up, striding towards you. That just walks with an air of importance. And he said, "So, Caspar, these are the people that you've brought back to us, and refugees." And Caspar says, "Yes, these are people that. Well, I know Bran. He is Bran, but he is not Bran." Giustino, this other man looks at him, and you realize his name is Giustino as they start to talk to each other. Not Bran. What do you mean? Perhaps they should tell you. They are from here, but they are not from here. But I believe that it would be wise to have him speak with the princess. The only other option was to kill them there. I understand. And Caspar says that just kind of like as if, he's talking about,
right. Trip to the market, yeah.
To give him a sandwich, Just the only option was to kill them there, Very matter of fact.
Do any of us recognize this Giustino guy?
No. But he's a guy probably in his mid-30s, closer to 40 than 30. Walks just with a real air of importance. Tall guy. Has a sword by his side. Outside of that, and like no actual armor. Dressed rather nicely for being out here. Not impractically, but just he's got some nice lace accoutrement. And looks at all of you sternly. And so, who are you?
Bartholomew looks at Bran and leans over a bit in the saddle and says, "It would perhaps be better if you were our spokesman. For the next few days, I will still be in this body, but soon I shall return to my own vessel. Until that time, it's better not to confuse the people."
Okay, I'm not. Thing's not with them. He is at the body of Parthalion, laying on hands, trying to purge him of any toxins or any insanity. This overtaking him, you know what I mean? Even with the medallion for an extra boost. So, all right.
Okay. And
I would like to talk to Thak while all this is going on.
Okay, so who's actually talking to Giustino at this point?
Bran.
Bran, okay. And
I guess I've been voluntold.
Is Othar Wizard standing next to him?
Barthalion in the body of Othar.
Othar. We call him Othar Wizard.
Yeah. The Othar Wizard in the party is...
yeah, sure, that's, yeah. Okay, so the Giustino is kind of like waving to people saying, "Please take care of their horses, take care of the women, the old man, the fat one. He doesn't look good either."
Bring him some Kleenex.
Yeah, and there's people coming over to help the women off their horses, help the old man off the horse. They look at the fat man who looks expectantly, and then they get off your horse.
How is Parthalion reacting whenever I do this the lay on hands?
The body of Parthalion, I mean, he seems to be rather healthy now.
He winks at
you. Couldn't possibly be any healthier, but mostly, he's
still distraught.
Oh, he's very distraught. And he says, Parthalion tells me this is only this won't be permanent. That I won't have to be in this body forever.
Parthalion tells you, you are Parthalion. Stop! You're crazed. Come back to us, Parthalion. We need your help. Anyway,
stop talking to me like that. Stop. This is not making
calm down. Women, take care of him. Dab him.
And it's the people that have come at the request of Giustino to help you off are just looking at Thane like he's absolutely out of his mind. They're listening to this conversation. And they're looking at each other. One of them gives this kind of like look to the other guy, like, keep an eye on this one. Keep an eye on both. Keep an eye on both of
place
them.
we can lay him. He is sick of the madness.
Of the madness. Come with us. Come with us, Father. We'll take care of you. And he's just this, you know.
We'll take
Yeah. Oath Archive is just crying in the body of Parthalion. It's a mess. It's a mess. And what is Dak Simba doing before?
Dak Simba is going over to Jack,
right,
and taking him aside a little bit away from everyone, and I'm like, listen, if Simba, you need to keep your head about you here, okay? Because these people are savage. You saw what they did to their enemies. They impaled them. If they find out that you are not who you seem to be, I cannot protect you. So just saying, all right?
But what about you?
What about me?
What about you? What if they find out you're not who you say you are?
I am who I say I am. I'm Thak, and you're Simba.
And he's just looking at you, just like really confused, and then you're me, and I'm you. Okay, there you go. So he's just doesn't he's just.
I'm really just playing with his head.
Yeah. No, I know you are. He's really
I'm just trying to really confuse him.
Yeah, he's just not happy. But you know, there's a hustle and bustle, people trying to help everybody. But it's clear that they're all, as well as helping everybody, kind of keeping an eye on them.
Okay.
And so Justino is now talking to Bran. So, tell me the story of your group. Refugees from Vesta?
That is correct. These are the household. These are the household of the of a now dead wizard, victim of the war between the different trade houses. Master Parthalion is his senior apprentice, and we have been helping them through the wilderness. We were making for Paragon, but we have learned that it is not a good goal at the moment.
You could have a better goal. It is not a great goal. And what is your plan here?
Well, again, our plan was to get these people to safety. It will depend on what they wish to do and whether safety is to be found here.
I will have to confer with the princess herself about this, but I can't imagine that she would not extend hospitality to your group, at least for the time being, for the infirm, for the women.
At least two of us have strong sword arms that could help in your defense while we're here, and others have other skills that may be useful as well. We will pull our own weight.
Let's see. All right, I'll tell you what. You roll 2d6 and tell me what the result is.
10.
Really? Okay. Did you have a charisma modifier or no?
No charisma modifier. I leave that to Jacinda, of course.
Okay. And he actually, you get the feeling he actually likes you. Justino is rather trusting. So we're going to put Bran like a little cross the hatch here. And so, yeah, you actually have a pretty good reaction.
The no bullshit approach works occasionally.
Right.
What is that?
That's why I said occasionally.
Your words are strange to me.
I didn't say often.
So they offer you places to wash up, to eat. There's actually a good amount of food here. It's certainly not fine dining, but it's for somebody like Bran, this would feel just like home. So that works out, and it lets you know that you guys would have an audience with the princess. But he asks, "Is there anybody else that in your party that is of importance? Gather those together that you would say she would want to talk to, that speak for the party."
Okay, if Thane hears this, he's had the women taking food to Parthalion. The body of Parthalion is still resting.
Well, obviously, Bran will gather them, right? We'll gather the rest of the party and let them know that he's been asked that. So Thane will definitely have a say.
So I'll tell Bran, I will attend in Parthalion's stead. I will speak for him while he is infirm.
If they,
will you?
Bran kind of like gives a deep philosophical sigh and looks at Simba and says, very tired sounding, he says, "So Thak, will you do the same for Simba while he is indisposed?"
Oh, of course I will. Of course I will. Yes.
now, I mean, is Thane here at the moment?
Yeah, you're right there.
Okay,
You're right there. That's why Bran worded it that way, right?
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like saying,
Do
"Thak,
you trust these charlatans? Where's the proof? Can you prove yourselves?"
You two could always have a
he's
duel.
He's looking at Chosimba and Parthalion. They're in totally different bodies. You are who you say you are. Where's the proof? And he's bringing his medallion out and swinging it in front of him like that.
Ooh, that feels good. Mm.
Yeah, your bodies lay yonder. They're over there.
Mm.
Yeah, you say you are our comrades.
We have explained it. We have explained it to you once.
The enemy sorcerers switched them from their correct bodies. Remember?
Is this getting painful for everyone else? Or is it just me?
Yes,
it's just you. It's just you.
Oh, okay. All right.
Now, while you guys are constantly having these discussions of absolute insanity throughout the day, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I'm just saying. Thing grabs to get my point across. Of what is his name? Othar.
Yeah,
Othar by the tail. Who is your master? And shakes him a little bit.
I serve Seraphones.
Okay, he has that doubtful look about him, and he releases his grip and looks over his shoulder at the body laying there.
Of course. Let's be honest. Othar Kai, well, whose house was he a member of? Oh, it was Seraphones' house. You can know that.
Oh, geez. Yeah, you're right. Okay. Good catch.
I understand you wish to have proof, but unfortunately, magic is not something to be thrown about casually. If and when the time comes, and sorcery is called for, then you shall have your proof.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, take a leap of faith and trust that matters will be set back to normal in a few days hence.
Yes. Listen to what he says.
He kind of looks down at his medallion and grabs it and looks at you and reluctantly nods and backs off. And then he kind of eyeballs Chosimba. Your little sideways, you know what I mean, comments are resonating true in them as far as your character. So they backs off, looks forward.
So not to role play all through this, but just to get these actual facts out. Throughout the rest of the day, talks to various members of the entire group. Both player characters and non-player characters alike. But I like Parthalion and Chosimba and Thane to all roll 2d6 too, and let me know what the results are, because we want to see what Giustino thinks of you.
All right, let's see if this works. Come on.
And it's Parthalion Othar Kai, Parthalion. Oh, dice can. Oh, that's an 8.
8.
Yeah, it's kind of indifferent. Okay.
I rolled a 9.
I'm sorry. What was that? A 5?
A 9.
No, I'm looking at.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay. So he is
There's my dice cam. Can you see?
Nice.
Awesome.
It was $19 on clearance. It's like second cam for $18, $19. I got it.
Well, I'll tell you what. He likes Faximba. He seems to be rather talkative with him. He's kind of indifferent to. He's not really friendly, but not really unfriendly to Othar Parthalion. And Thane, well, he doesn't seem to like him very much.
Yeah.
And I've never
Poor thing, man. and we can call this guy Otharlian.
Otharlian. Oh, there we go.
Otharlian, yeah.
There you go.
That's ridiculous.
A side conversation with Otharlian. Look, I know I'm quite possibly stuck in this body, but you maybe not, right? I mean, it's going to wear off for you, right?
I believe it will. Yes.
What if we offed the old man?
What, my body?
It's not your body anymore. That was a wagon you were traveling in. It's old. It's broken down. Now you're in this brand new well, not quite shiny, but you know what I mean. I mean, it's better, right?
It's risky, and Othar Kai for sure would die. Well, we don't know. We might switch bodies again. It's not worth the risk, and still, it is not my decision to take this man's life. He has been a loyal servant. I will not kill him just to.
That's such a harsh word to use. Well, since you put it that way, very well. I'm just looking out for your best interest. That's all, Master Parthalion. All right.
I understand that in your own way, you wish the best for me, but
yes, exactly. If this unfortunately led to your demise, well, so be it. Someone would have to take your place, and
even if it didn't, I would not kill an innocent man for my own gain.
None are innocent, Master Parthalion. Please.
Nice.
Gosh, that just warms my heart. So that evening, you dine with the rest of the people. They're very hospitable to the whole group. The women in the three women, still as of yet unnamed women in the party, really seem to be like just taking deep breaths and being like a lot more happier with where they're at. Same thing with Rosalind. She seems to be much more happy and content. Yanni is still a little bit, he seems to be. Everybody seems to be a lot happier that you're someplace which seems to be safe, where the people don't seem to be crazy. They're a little freaked out by the bodies on the stakes, but the context, the explanation that was given, while it still seems to be making people a little bit nervous, seems to be taken in stride by most of the group. But the princess herself never actually shows during that evening. When you eat, and Justina says she will meet with you tomorrow. She is in council. And so you're able to, if you don't want to do anything for the rest of the evening, you're able to actually rest, heal up any kind of hit points, and roll your hit die to see what else you heal, unless there's anything else you want to do in the middle of the night.
Okay. Thane wants to get up and he'll go over.
No, I can read that.
Can you read it?
42. You have 42 points.
I can't do it. It's a 4.
It's a 4. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's cool.
Nice.
It's a triangle. He's rolled a triangle, ladies and gentlemen. Anybody else injured?
I always knew Parthalion was in the Illuminati.
Yeah.
Hey, 5 hit points is pretty good.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Or you already healed some before, so you might
Yeah.
I think you're up to 5 already. So you're because we already had a night's rest, so you're probably up to 9 now.
I think I only have four hit points of damage left.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, also you're still wounded. Okay, that's too bad. If you cast any spells, that'll be awful.
I know.
Anyhow, so nobody else does anything during the night.
I wanted to go over to Thane gets up and goes over to Yanni, and his bag, whenever he's sleeping, and picks up his bag and pilfers through it if he has any kind of, and
Really? Wait a minute. So it's the middle of the night. Let's take a look here at Yanni's stats here and the party's. Let's see the party's skills. Pretty sure we've got a list of the party's skills here. Oh, let's see. Thane stealth 3. Okay.
Yeah, and then sleight of hand 4.6.
Okay, 4 and 6. Yeah, I'll tell you what. Yeah, go use sleight of hand.
Okay.
Just don't roll a 5 or a 6.
I got a 4.
Okay. Going through his backpack, there it does appear to be there's some coins. There's actually some jewelry in there from God knows where. There is some packages of what appears to be the Black Lotus. There's probably about 20 times the amount that he gave you that one time. So there's quite a bit of Black Lotus in there.
I'll be lifting the Black Lotus. The rest I have no concern about.
Okay.
But yeah, I want to empty him of that. So.
All right. Excellent. And what do you do with it? Do you have a party?
No. I'll approach. I'll take care of that tomorrow. But I'll go back to my bed and do my watch during the night. But I'll keep it on me.
Okay. All right. And let's see. Does he notice that this is missing? I'm going to say that like only on a 6 does he actually notice the next day. And that is a 4. Okay, so goody. He doesn't notice that morning that's missing. In the morning, the bustle of the actual camp like awakens you if you haven't woke up already, and they let you let you know that like the noonday meal that the princess will see you.
All right.
And if unless anybody wants to do anything between now and then, we can fast forward to that impression.
Sounds good to me.
Yes,
Yeah.
I will prepare myself and make sure that I am looking my very best.
Right.
Simba best.
Yeah, you're led to understand that she wants to meet everybody in this entire party. So eventually you're brought to a clearing. It seems to be like one of those places that they saw once they chose this area for a camp that looks like a good meeting spot. There's like a ring of rocks that seem to be a natural formation, but it's one of those things you walk in the woods and you're hiking, you say, that looks cool. That spot. Doesn't look to be especially prepared, but so you're led there. The entire group of you, including your, my gosh, what is it? 10, 11, 12, other people that are with you to this spot. And then after a wait of about a half an hour, several guards show up, and then a very tall woman with, not surprisingly, flame red hair strides, and she is at least 6'7".
Mercy.
Not only is her hair red, but her skin is a real copper, almost reddish hue.
Okay.
Not unheard of, but really, really rare.
Mm-hmm.
And 6'7" women are incredibly rare. She's got that look like she could kick your butt. She is a physical specimen like you've probably never seen before.
Scantily clad?
Not scantily clad.
Oh, Thane.
But you've never seen a person that looks like this before. Because she's just gigantic. Beautiful.
Okay.
And of just an age, it's really hard to determine how old she is.
Mm-hmm.
But just almost seems as if she was chiseled out of the red rock of Mars itself.
Mm.
Yeah.
Very imposing figure.
Now, are we in a dining area or?
No, you're just in the clearing. You're up.
Okay, gotcha.
And is the entire 14 people of our caravan here, or
Everybody. Yeah, everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And we're saying, 6'7" is a little not. Maybe 6'4", 6'5". She's tall. She's tall. Yeah, about that. You don't have a measuring stick. She's the tallest woman you've ever seen in your life.
Okay.
Taller than most tall dudes. Yeah.
Okay.
So, but just an imposing figure.
And she's waiting for us to say something, or
she walks by each and every one of you and looks at you. And
okay. I'll give her the wink.
Excellent.
Good choice, man.
Lead with your strength is what I say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thane would be holding on to his medallion, sensing for any kind of negative auras.
Okay. And at this point, I want you all to roll 2d6 again because I want to see what she thinks of you as she walks by you, makes eye contact.
Now, I do have a -1 on my charisma. So.
You do? Okay. That's hey, listen, that's all right.
I feel like I'm on the Bachelorette.
All right.
Uh-oh.
That is a 4. Oh man, that's unreal. That's awesome. That is. You got a 3?
Yeah, 3, and I haven't taken off the negatives. You do
Hey, no, please.
What? You got a 2?
No.
Hey, I rolled
7.
a 3.
I got 7.
No.
It's 7.
Do you know how to you have like a barbecue or like a coal grill, a charcoal grill, or a wood grill? Do you have a charcoal grill or?
Yeah.
I want you, next time you just this weekend light it and throw your freaking dice in the fire, melt them down.
Melt them. Trip to the hobby shop, buy a new set. Yeah.
And I did that like 6 times.
What was Brand's roll, Jose?
9. These have to be molten down till there's like this coating at the bottom of the grill.
I'm gonna break open this new set and use it.
So your actual net result, you rolled a 3 and now it's a 2. That's what you're telling me.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So these guys can probably, well, at least Eloy can vouch that I was talking on a group today about the variability of rolls, and I mentioned you, Del, that like you have this uncanny ability to roll either really low or really high, but nowhere in between.
Never like the average. Yeah,
never the average. No.
Hey, yeah.
What else?
When I do it, I do it all the way.
Yeah,
committed.
We see that.
Okay.
I'm not no wishy-washy.
What I commend and I haven't spoken about PBTA is that the 2d6 is loaded to roll between 7 and 10. That's where you're gonna be most of the time. That's what I'm rolling.
Yeah.
Yeah. I throw that theory out the window.
Well, her general reaction, I could tell you, Bran, she likes. The result would be talkative. She is indifferent to the Faximba. Maybe it's the wink, but she kind of smiles when you do that, like almost as if she's like that's like humor, like you've actually tickled her.
Yeah, that's what I was going for. Yes,
because that's pretty. Yeah, but not like that. She's actually pretty amused. Like, I can't believe he just did that. I'm not sure if I like this guy, but that's ballsy, considering the situation, the circumstances. Something about Othalion, she's just not digging. She's unfriendly. Something, she's just not liking the vibe, and to Thane, what's just hostile. She's just really not liking Thane at all.
Oh.
Now, can I say something? Because I had those 2 women that were looking after the body of Battalion. They've got him propped up because they're under orders to watch him and monitor him. They've got him both propped up, and he's standing in the middle because I don't want him to.
Are you talking like
overstress himself.
Weekend at Bartholian's?
Yes, exactly. You're reading my mind. But
you're forcing a line like to play
roll for him. How did you react to him? Because I'm trying to sell it. Thane is trying to sell him. This is Barthalion. This is our wizard.
Let's see. We'll call him Parkai. It's like butter, but not. We'll see what the princess thinks of him.
Gosh.
This is awful, though. Let's see. It's a nine. She likes him.
All right, good.
She likes it.
You got a lot of moxie. Yeah. Okay, they lay him down gingerly back on the trottoir.
Well, yeah. Well, no, he's standing. He's not an invalid, for crying out loud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're feeding him grapes and fanning him with the big palm leaf.
He's probably hunched over because the arthritis and the stuff. He's not used to that. So
yeah.
So
it's really magnified in his mind.
She calls Parkai over, and Bran, I would have a word with you two. And she completely disregards
the rest of the party.
Well, at least she didn't behead Thane on the spot. Jesus.
I say to Thane, she's into me. I can see it. Yes, it's.
And she turns around. She looks at you. She looks at you. She goes, "You have amused me, little man. Do not push it."
Thane laughs at that, and then he catches himself before he finishes it.
And she looks at Thane and says, "You can put that away. I have no quarrel with your god, but the gods certainly have not come to avenge us. Anything that we have gotten for ourselves.
I am the avenger that was sent."
Well, then perhaps you will avenge for us later. As for now, remain silent. Come, old man. You, Lankin, let us talk. And she doesn't really take them, far away and out of earshot. It's almost like she just says, "So you two are worthy to come and speak with me."
Okay. Thane glances at the two women and is like, "Yeah, help him along."
And he's trying to push them off
princess.
And
I'm doing it low key,
He stands up straighter, He's both are, in the body of Barthalion and something.
And he's the strut. Okay. He's Barthalion. We're crying out loud.
Okay. But he also just looks like, Brad could tell, by the look in his face, he's also like, I don't think I should say anything.
Clueless.
He knows he's a guy that just, you've got this that glance that goes between you. Like, he's like, man, if she finds out who I am, she'll kill me.
Yeah.
She'll be up. So she likes me. I'm just not going to talk.
Thane's smiling. He's like, Barthalion has come back to us as he's watching him walk toward the princess.
Completely missing the look of abject terror.
Yeah, because he don't see that. Oh boy, it's just like he's walking to his doom. But
in his eyes, yeah.
He's standing straighter,
Yeah, Bran sort of just nods confidently to Parthal Parkai.
All right.
So you're Bran Thornvar.
That is correct, my lady.
Caspar tells me, and many of the other your tribesmen tell me that you are not yourself, that you are not from this reality. Is that true?
It is. It is, Your Highness. We were scouting some ruins outside the city of Vesta, and another scoundrel we saw there touched one of the eldritch machines, I think they called them, that looked out onto the landscape. He messed with it somehow. Gods know what he did, what deviltry happened there. When we stepped through, we went back to Vesta, but it was not Vesta.
What do you mean?
uh, what can I tell you? Where we come from, uh, the it's the Scarans, right? All these aliens. We got to mix up in my mind. The Scarans were the ones that were like powerful in our Mars and enslaved here.
I knew.
No, the Antha.
The Anta. Like the easiest way I can tell you is in our Mars, the Anta were a powerful slave holding race, lorded over us men and women. They were
The
not
Antha.
slaves like here.
There was no plague.
There was no plague.
The Antha are cowards. They fled during the Great War.
Yeah, in our Mars, they were one of the most powerful factions. And they looked down upon us.
It's inconceivable.
That is what we thought when we came over. And there are other small differences. For example, apparently the Bran Thoramvar from here is dead, according to these Lankian.
You have been missing for 3 years, they tell me.
Whereas it was less than a year ago that I left our lands to go work as a sellsword in Vesta in my timeline. But yes, there are other changes. But again, I am no wizard. I'm a mere swordsman.
I'm not a sorceress myself. I do not claim to understand these things, but I do find them intriguing. However, Caspar seems to feel that you are trustworthy, even though he says you have no soul. As for me, I do not know whether people have souls or not. It is immaterial to me.
I don't feel any different.
Well, I suppose you wouldn't. What I am concerned about is that which was mine has been taken from me, and that Calgarax seeks to take more of what is rightfully mine. And I would like to stop him. I do not understand this talk about the Antha being powerful in your world, because in my world they fled. My ancestors had to fight the war for them. They bred us. They had the humans assist in the war against the great race, and then they ran like frightened rabbits. They were blown away like so much chaff. Or they hid, changed their names, changed where they lived. And some were destroyed by the plague, but none remained, and it was up to us to drive off the great race. Now I would have the lands that are rightfully mine back. This usurper has taken my city from me and taken the means to move forward from me. So I must go to the northern kingdoms before he takes them over himself.
Well, our only purpose in traveling here was to keep what survivors we could from Master Parthalian's home safe. And apparently Paragon is not a place for safety. So I would have to speak to the rest of my companions. But I, for one, would not be at all opposed to helping you if you think we can.
I do not know. I just want to know that you are not spies also.
We had no good idea of what was going on in Paragon until your man Justino told us. But you have my word as a warrior. Soul or no soul, the word of a Lankian has value. That we are not spies. We know nothing about your enemies.
And she looks at you. And you will swear a blood oath?
I will.
And she takes out this wicked-looking dagger, just gashes it right across her palm, which starts bleeding profusely.
He just extends his hand.
Hands you the dagger. She cuts your palm. A little deeper than you would like. And grabs your hand, squeezes it with a grip like a butcher on steroids.
Yeah. Like, I, Bran Thorenvar of the Lankian, give a blood oath that we are not enemies to Princess Alluvia of Paragon, and have never plotted against her.
Yet.
And may you die if this is not the truth. And she
May
slaps
I
you on
die.
the shoulder. And goes, that is good. And she wipes her hand like on her tunic.
Yeah, he does on his pants. Well, like what
And
the-
rips off a piece of it and just starts bandaging her hand up as if it's the most natural thing in the world to do. And she looks at
Parquet?
Parquet.
It's not butter.
Butter, yeah. I know, yeah. I did say Parquet, yeah.
Oh gosh.
Looks at him, but looks back at Bran. So you have sorcerers among you. This is what I've heard. Is this true?
It is.
And so you are a great sorcerer. And she looks right at Parquet, and he looks at her like this is quite an odd. Yeah. We may have use of that. That bastard Calgarix is no sorcerer, but I know he is colluding with him.
We have been hounded by enemy sorcerers since we fled Vesta, so I am not surprised.
What have they done to you?
They have cast fireballs on us. They have conjured walls of iron to separate us in the middle of combat, and they have even tried to muddle with our friends' minds. Master Parthalion is still recovering from the last encounter with his evil sorcerers.
She looks right over at Thane and goes, and what of that one?
What can I tell you? He has been through much. He was possessed by these black larvae creatures that these devil worshippers in Vesta released. He was barely managed. The priest of Bella barely managed to save his life by exorcising this from him. And
she says right then, she goes, "You have brought the plague here," and she points at him like, "Seize that man!"
No, he's healed. He's healed.
And guards are already running all over Thane.
Thane still got his medallion out and he's walking among people like.
Okay.
Thane
is now being grabbed by about 6 guys, and she's like, "Put that man in quarantine."
Yeah, he's struggling. He's struggling now. I mean, he knows it was a trap anyway. It was an ambush. And he's starting to scream that.
All right, let's do it.
I told you, ambush.
Let's do an opposed roll.
Ambush, comrade.
For 6 guys, they're going to add, let's see, like 12 to their roll. Let's see if you can roll higher. Roll a d20.
He says, "Save Parthalion." That's 8.
Okay, that's 18 plus 12. They roll a 30. So they got you. I just wanted to give you a chance. I just made this chance.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
You know, but it's my side. You are actually going to roll. But, you know.
He has been healed by the priest of Bella. That is what led to his conversion and his extreme faith in that goddess.
We will, yeah. As you say, but we will quarantine him.
They're still kicking and screaming as they take him away.
They take him away.
Yeah, he's saying, "Yeah, you'll see the wrath of the Avenger of Bella. You'll see his wrath. I swear to you." And you hear him taking him off.
And she says,
"Run, my comrades."
So she looks at one of the other Ishtarians. "Zoltan, see what you find if he is actually carrying the plague or not." And he looks at her and goes, "As you wish. I will do the
rubber glove.
I will do the
examination.
I will do the body cavity search. No, wait.
No. He says I will prepare the drink.
All right.
And they unceremoniously take Thane off. Relieve him of his sword and his gun. They don't take anything else off of him, and they kind of throw him into like a little cave.
I'll walk up to Brand and I'll kind of come behind him, like just behind his shoulder, and I'll go, well, that didn't go too bad, did it? Right?
Brand just shakes his head, and shakes some blood from his hand.
Now, how was Shang acting when everything was being accosted?
I don't know how is Shang.
That's
acting?
what
in fact, let's have Shang roll. Go ahead, roll. See what she thinks of Shang, just out of curiosity. Seeing as you might have to start playing Shang soon.
2 dice. All right. Hey, 11.
She likes that guy. That's awesome.
Oh boy.
Yeah, no 7s, no 8s, just 11. Yeah.
Either 12s or 11s. Or 1 or 2s.
Yeah, all we're gonna do. I was gonna make another video as a response to Ron Edwards. What I'm gonna do is just like show him this little part of the game.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. I don't need to say anything else. That's great. So he loves Shang Cantos. So what has Shang been doing? What did you say Shang was doing? Right before I interrupted you with that reaction roll.
Oh no! I just want to know if Shang was responding whenever he sees Thane being struggling and saying run or whatever. He is going to actually, I'm gonna roll and find out what he does. Is that upper 15? He starts to shuffle around a little bit and get in the running pause, and then he catches himself because nobody else seems to be moving. I guess the rest of the caravan is there, and it seems to be a ring that we're in their territory, right? With all these.
Oh yeah, no, everybody else is like standing.
He thinks.
Not that characters are kind of standing stock still. Like, holy crap, this lady's huge. She means business. And
and all these other historians and everything are standing around. He rings. He catches himself and stops. Right.
And so Thane has been taken and put in a little cave. And at this point, it seems like the audience with her is over for the time being.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah, so Bran will thank her and then head back to the other guys to tell them basically what he shared with her and why poor Thane was carried away by the nice men in the white coats.
That's, I mean, like literally, she did not take you that far away. Like everybody could hear what was going on.
Oh, okay.
All right.
All right.
It was quite like pulling you away, like 20 feet away. Like you're the only one person to talk to, and she talked loud anyway.
Okay.
So does this mean now that we each get a larger cut of anything we find?
Why would this mean that?
No reason really. I mean, I'm sure Thane will be fine, but I think it's best to plan for hope for the best and plan for the worst. And if poor brave Thane is not going to make it out of his quarantine, we should just have some agreements put in place as far as how we split up our finds, our treasures, things like that. That's all.
Well, the Astarians are good at their craft. If the priests of Bela did manage to heal Thane, as we believe they did, he should have no problem.
Oh yes, indeed. I'm just hypothetical. That's all we're talking about here. Hypothetical. Very well. Maybe it was too soon. It's all right. You know what? Let's just. I never spoke about it. Let's just go on.
Oh, of course.
All right.
It's about this time that Rosalind comes up and approaches Bran once she realizes that there's not as many people listening to them talk. And she said, Thank you for not telling her that I had been infected as well. She gives you a kiss on the cheek.
Oh.
Nice.
Brand knows well enough to not just simply say, "Well, she didn't ask about you."
Sucker got rid of the competition.
No, I mean, he's like the barbarian, right? They ask him a question, he gave an answer, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she didn't ask about Rosalind.
Brand, so
By the way, Parthalion, your man here, Othar Kai, did really well. And he
Good.
smacks Othar Kai in the back.
I didn't say anything. I didn't say anything.
it would be
Oh,
It
sorry
would
sorry about the blood. And he like takes a paper cloth and wraps his hand.
it would be helpful if you could find out what the Ishtarians plan to do. What means what this drink that they mentioned is. Is it a cure? Is it meant to? Because it seems now we are only reduced to one of our priests. There is only Dozan who has made it this far. So it would be nice if you could find out what the Ishtarians are doing. If it is a cure, then it might be something that might help us in the future should one of us become infected once again.
You plan to go back to Vesta?
No, but these dangers, we don't know where else these dangers are to be found. There might be plague here in Paragon as well. I think this is a good time to talk to the rest of the members of the house and decide our fate. This encampment is well defended. This princess is harsh, but at least has so far treated us fairly. She's rightly concerned for spies, but has not seemed unreasonable thus far. What say you? Should we consult the rest of the caravan? Perhaps attempt to make a new life here? I would still like to find out more about what goes on in the city of Paragon.
If only there was a way you could do that.
Yeah, it's a risky way. There are ways.
No, just try to do my hexa chicken.
What kind of this camp? I mean, is it fairly bare bones, or are there some comforts here? I mean,
there are not that many comforts. It's not horrible. Clearly, just has been able to make a bit of a level of comfort for himself, but it really, it has this vibe of being composed of these horse people which live off the land, these Ishtarians which have these really just, I just can't imagine Jusimba really fitting in with that culture. And
no. I'm not feeling it.
Loyalists to Alluvia, which kind of took the practical things they could, like say weapons and what have you, and some level of technology when they could have it, and got away with her, and things they could use to mount raids and what have you. But in terms of comfy couches and stuff,
Divans,
yeah, dates,
dates, yes.
Yeah, it doesn't seem that was.
I see.
Palanquins, nothing.
Palanquins, yes.
Yeah,
I think we shouldn't be too hasty to throw in with this rebel. I mean, look, we're in the middle of the wilderness here.
And this place is dangerous as well. There are the usurper still sends bands of guards trying to.
Yes.
It is a harsh life, and she seems determined to take back dominion over the city. So
And she did not say we are accepted as part of her crew, at least not yet.
What if we offered to go into Paragon for her as her eyes and ears?
that's an idea.
Then we would have access to the better things in life. While we were, doing a favor to her, but then we would have access to dates and divans and palanquins.
I don't know that she trusts us enough yet to allow that.
Now, while this conversation is going on, sometime as going on. So hold those thoughts, because this is a good conversation. I like this conversation quite a bit. But in the meantime, after spending a couple hours in this cave, the door, if you will, not really a door, but like the boulder that's been rolled in front of it is rolled away a little bit, and this Ishtarian kind of squeezes his way in. This Ishtarian, you heard his name was Zoltan. He's got this mortar and this pestle, and he's still grinding some stuff. He goes, I'm ready to give you the drink. How are you feeling?
Okay, at this moment, Thane swings open a little pouch of black lotus dust into his face.
Oh!
Casting it.
Oh.
What you want me to roll? I guess he's rolling.
Something like that. That's awesome. Okay, so you're not going to need to roll to hit to do that. That's just, so you pretty much just let's see if you really surprise this guy. That's more like, does he really get a big lungful of this stuff?
Okay.
Oh man, let's see. Wow, that's good. Actually, no, I'm gonna have him roll a saving throw. That seems to be the most appropriate thing to do. It's like, how bad is it still for him? But
You want me to roll for it?
No. Well, yeah, I suppose you could roll the saving throw. So let's say your close quarters, he wasn't expecting this, so you can roll a saving throw, but give it a -4. So it's his saving throw.
Okay. I rolled a 10, actually. So -4 is 6.
Okay, so he failed. So he failed. So he gets a good lungful of this stuff. Now I want you to roll your saving throw, and you can add 4, because you're trying not to inhale this stuff as you just put this big cloud of junk in.
Because that'd be poison, right? 12.
No, well, it's just a saving throw. It's just our,
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
you can you can add your Constitution modifier to it, I suppose.
Oh, in Constitution?
Yeah. If you got a Constitution modifier?
Yeah, +1 on Constitution.
Oh, okay. All right, yeah, so
17 with the 4 +1.
Really? Oh wow! So you make the save. This is unreal. You actually, ladies and gentlemen,
We get up and take a bow.
on this. Wow, you made the save. So this is Jared who's coming in there just completely not expecting this. Takes this big lungful of this black lotus, and Thane must have I guess leapt back and got out of the cloud, somehow. And he's coughs for a second. He's waving his hands. He's dropped the mortar and pestle, and this liquid is splashed all over the place, and he slumps over.
He slumps over?
Yeah, slumps over. And he's not unconscious, but his eyes are just big.
Okay. Now Thane's gonna jump up on his back and slap him in the face. And before he jumps on his back, wake up, beast! And jumps on his back and tries to grab any kind of his mane to steer him out and ride him out of there. How is he reacting?
He is just completely he's completely insensate, or if he's not responding to you. His eyes are wide, pupils are just incredibly dilated. You're not really sure what kind of a dose this guy just got, but he got a good lungful and breathed it in deep.
So while I'm trying to climb up on his back and goose him, spur him on, he's not doing that.
Yeah, he's kind of keeled over a little bit,
He's killed over. Okay,
you can't
so
get out of the cave.
all right, well, I look at his face and I say, where are my friends being held? Is he okay? Bunny Rabbit, gotcha. All right, you're worthless. And then I turn around and grab the sword and run. Did they take the sword from me? My weapons? Or
They
what?
took your weapons. They just did not take your, didn't go through your pockets. They just took your gun. They took your sword.
Oh my God.
Okay. Well, I
Awesome.
go out the cave and I'm looking both ways for what I see, especially my weapon or anything I can use as a weapon. And I'm trying to, did I see where they took me from and would I know how to get back?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So I wasn't blindfolded or anything. All right. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to use myself until I can get a weapon and trying to make it back to that area as quickly as possible. Looking for anybody in the caravan or any of my comrades. All right.
Okay. Now let's switch back. Let's switch back to these fellas. They're still talking about this. That's your plan to be the spies.
Oh, yes. Right. So,
Yeah.
I mean, why live out here hiding in the middle of nowhere when we could be on the front line, so to speak, of this rebellion, and yet in the comfort of the city?
It is a tough choice. It would be a harsh life. We still don't know the conditions of the city.
But
the
you
plague,
could find out, couldn't you?
I suppose.
Well, but there's two issues, friends. One is, I don't think that they're going to let us go just like that, particularly not to the city. Second, we have to wait to see what befalls Thane after the Asterians try whatever it is they're going to do.
Oh, Thane, yes. Sorry. I just mentally preparing myself to move on. That's all. All right.
Yeah, I see that.
Okay. Thane, let's see. Why don't you roll stealth and see if you don't get caught getting back to where your companions are?
All right. That would be I got 3d6 still.
Yeah, 3 and 6, yeah.
Got a 2.
What?
I got a 2.
Against all odds.
Yeah.
In this heavily guarded camp, under the cover of night, fearing for his life, pouring it on.
Yeah.
You can narrate however else you want.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, I'm going from place to place. Exactly how you're saying it, skirting on the outside, trying to look for any kind of guards, keeping a low profile. Yeah, but I'll go wide of them. I don't want to create any kind of noise or anything as less as possible. So I can be skirting out wide to try to get and locate exactly where they could be and get from a vantage point so I can look down and see what's happening. Instead of barging directly in there, I need to kind of assess the situation. You see what I'm saying? So some kind of a rocky outcropping or vantage point where I can see what's going on, see if they're in danger.
No, they don't appear to be in danger. They appear to be talking about something really important, and you can hear like it's very heartwarming as Jusimba, or well, not really Jusimba, but
So I'm privy to their conversation.
Thaximba is talking about making sure that Thane is okay, and something about moving on, but you're not really sure what he's talking about.
Yeah, I don't really take his words with I take them with a grain of salt. I don't even know who he is. I'll mark them down, on my little notebook. So he can pay due recompense, but right now, nah. But I see that Parthalion is laid out on his little travois, right? And the ladies are taking care of him, and the rest of them are at home.
You pull around like this. That's cool.
Look, I'm gonna take a pebble if I can, and toss it toward the nearest person. Is Shang nearest me? Anybody that I can kind of alert to my presence?
Oh yeah. You can choose whoever you want to alert.
Okay, I'm gonna stay out of the glare of any kind of light to where no, until I get them sight, and then I don't want no reflection of my armor, alerting any of the guards. But I'll use that to kind of once I get somebody's attention to, show them I'm there. So, who was it? Shane Cantos?
Yeah,
Brand.
whoever you want to be closest to you can alert whoever you'd like.
Okay, well I'll alert. I'll try to. I'll throw a little rock toward Brand. All right. So should I roll for like targeting?
You can hit him with a little rock.
Okay.
You're trying to hit him.
All right. I toss a little rock.
When Brad feels like he looks on, what the hell? So I guess he sees Stain.
You sent the glint of my armor from the camp light. I guess it's nighttime now.
Now, please tell me you're not wearing full plate armor. This whole time. I'll go with your leather because that's kind of like if you're walking.
Okay. All right, but I take some kind of, I'll make some kind of motion toward him, and if I have anything of metal, my amulet, I'll hold that up, kind of to catch the light.
Yeah.
That's just Thane, sneaking in full plate armor in defiance of the laws of physics and the laws of dice.
I've got the deity with me. I can do it.
That's right.
Make it so.
Right.
Yeah, I don't.
Wait a moment. Is that Thane?
Brad, come hither.
Oh God, he doesn't look like he was released.
Oh no! Can we just ignore him?
So Bran will walk.
That is the worst Hexa owl I've ever heard.
It's like the three amigos. Look right here! Look right here! So Bran says, "Oh, let me go talk to him." So he moves over towards the thing.
Okay.
All right. Very well.
Keep down, Bran. Are you safe? I managed to escape my captors.
Thane, they were just trying to make sure you didn't have the plague.
The plague? I've ridden myself of that back in Vesta.
I told them as much, but they wanted the Ishtarians to make sure you were cured. That's all it was about.
He came in trying to drug me.
Why do you think he was trying to drug you?
He was mashing up some concoction with the mortal and pestle.
Couldn't he have been trying to cure you?
Cure me? As I said, I've already been cured. They cannot discern that. They can discern that I have no soul yet. They can't discern that I have not afflicted with the plague.
I'm no priest or sorcerer, but that's all they wanted. They were not going to hurt you.
Neither am I, but ever since the madness came down from that alignment, things have been chaotic. And these two supposed Chosimba and Parthalion, being in other bodies, this is possession. They act like them, but their normal bodies are elsewhere.
Thane, listen to me. I have no idea how. I have nothing but admiration for the way that you broke out, but we are in a camp of people who do not trust us, and unless we let them make sure that you are not infected with the plague, we may very well be butchered.
All right.
All of us. We cannot sneak out of here. Not all of us are as skilled as you. And they have guards a day's ride away. Do you remember them coming up to us as we were riding in through this forest?
Okay. Thane's eyes get a little wide and he backs up a little bit. And he says, "Tell truth to me now, brother. Did you send them to me to get me out of your path toward the woman?" you would not betray me.
Damnation, Thane. Why would I ever do that?
Because you already have did it. And her as well.
If I wanted you out of the way for a woman, I would just fight you with a sword, Thane. Well, you think I'm just Simba or something?
Things are crazy. He's a crazy lout. I'm telling you, he's infecting the whole party. How do we? You speak truthfully, and then he looks in your eyes and he says, "Bella will determine." And he lifts up the amulet towards you. Look in my eyes now. Tell me straight. You're on my side.
You have my word as a Lamentations that I would never betray you, Thane.
Yes, I saw you give the blood oath to the princess. I'll take your word. What do we do to get out of here? They have no clue that I escaped.
I don't know, Thane. I don't know. My instincts say that you should maybe go back there, but I don't know whatever it is you did. Did you kill any of them while escaping?
Go back there. No, I simply detained him. He's all right. He should come around in a couple of days. I do not wish to go back there. I do not wish to go back there. Where y'all heading?
At that when you say he should come around in a couple of days, Yanni Olsen goes, "Oh no!" He reaches down and his pack is like, "Where you didn't."
No, Yanni's not hearing me, right? I'm on the outskirts.
Oh no, everybody's kind of like says determined. Oh my God, it's Dane's back, and so people are kind of like looking in.
Okay.
You didn't.
I did nothing.
You didn't do what?
Get out from around me, you heathen. He tells them like that. I have business to attend to. I'm not going to stay in this area. Where do you plan to go to? Paragon? This is a dangerous reach of the country.
Well, it's about the time that I need to go to bed. So which actually matches up really perfectly at this exact moment, because as you're talking, and it's clear that Thane has no plans to go back and try to anything. You hear this, and which Bran recognizes as the horns of the Lancan, the sounds of alarm.
Okay, at that moment, I'd like to add, Thane looks at him and says, "I will see you in Paragon, brother." And he like that, and he turns off and flees into the night. All right.
I love it. Nice.
Oh my goodness.
Bran just shakes his head and it's like, it's good he leads a healthy lifestyle or he needs blood pressure pills by now.
Well, I will say you guys made a great first impression. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Unforgettable.
Not good.
Thane is just so Thane. He was like he was a Thane
Weekend
night.
at Parthagons.
My favorite part of the game was literally when Jose said, "Oh no."
That was good. Yeah. Nice way to end it.
I'm not just Simba. I wouldn't do that. Brand had the great lines tonight. Never do that. Just Simba. Oh man.
You had to talk so much. I think I need a throw lozenge after this session.
Well, I felt bad that there was no combat in this game, but I guarantee there probably will be next game.
Yeah.
No. Fine. It doesn't have to be combat every time. Well,
of course not. But yeah, I imagine Thane. Well, either Thane's going to make the mother of all stealth rolls, which don't make it now.
Now he's trying to commandeer a horse on the way out.
Or you're going to have to break out the unarmed combat rules.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, something. Yeah, it's going to be pretty interesting.
Nice.
Wow, that's awesome. And nobody could have predicted that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he does this just after Bran has sworn a blood oath to the.
Yeah.
Danger to you. Except for this guy. I can vouch for him too. Yes, he tried to kill your wingman. Yes, I know.
Yeah. I was looking for him to say there's the word of Lanky, and then that's what I did.
All right, guys. So that was worth it.
Well,
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was
need-
planning for what was going to happen with this, and then you guys start talking. Well, maybe we can do some go be your spies. I'm thinking that might be interesting, because I really had there's no like play. You have to go do something for the Martian princess.
yeah.
right.
Okay, well that might be
Yeah.
interesting. Except, well, that might not happen. Well, anyhow. All right, guys. That was
All right.
It was
Yeah,
good
so-
session. Have a good night, guys.
Good
Thank
night, guys.
you. Good
See
night.
you later.